Greetings. This is Arvat McClaine with Speak, the Universe Listens. New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey.
Oh, nothing much. So the other day I was watching one of my little sports shows, because I know I love watching my little sports shows. And this little commentator on there said something that really stuck to me. And he said, let's, practice being a thermostat instead of thermometer. And I was like, man, I like that. Now the way he was using it, not quite the way I would use it. He was kind of like talking about, I can't even remember what he was talking about. But the way I decided I wanted to use it was like, yeah, I want to be the thermostat of all the energy around me instead of the thermometer. So I don't want to be able to just read what the energy is. I want to be able to control the energy. Like when I say control, like control it with my light and with my happiness and my joy. Like boom, when I come in, then the whole room just gets happy. And so I guess I want to talk to y'all a little today about being a thermostat instead of a thermometer. And us controlling our environments instead of letting the things outside of us dictate how we feeling.
Well, I can say for me, I'm like the Dr. Phil for everybody that's around me. I can go into a room and it's like people just feel like they can talk to me about any and everything. And sometimes it can be somebody I don't even know. And an hour in, I know their whole life story. And, I gave them some advice or something helpful to cheer them up or to help them out. But I realized like that's pretty dope. If I'm able to walk around and give off energy as to where it makes people feel comfortable, a safe space, a place as to where they feel open enough to talk to me about something that's that's personal like that made me feel good, and I'm like, okay, look at my light shine.
Because the other day I was thinking, now I'm going to get a little vulnerable. On the other day, I was, man, this was a really frustrating day when I think about it. I was driving, I had a tire bust out, and then I was late somewhere where I needed to be. I was going to do like a little online interview. Missed the interview, tire busted up or whatever, and I was just like, I wanted to be down so bad, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I just wanted to be Mr. Will is me. And I was like, yeah, but no, not today. So instead I was like, all right, well, let's look at all the things that we do like that's happening around us right now. Like, let's focus on that. So I got up out the car, changed the tire. I was like, well, one, I'm glad that I know how to change the tire. Especially today, like I know that's not like a thing that's commonly known. So I was like, all right, I'm happy for all the skills that I have. And once I changed the tire, I was able to get on down. I was like, all right, like, you missed the interview, but still go get yourself some nice lunch. And so I was like, all right, I got myself a nice lunch. And when I went into it, I went into CC's. Now, if anybody know me, I love a CC's. And I also feel like I might be the only person keeping this company open. But I went in there, and I went and ordered my pizza or whatever, and the dude who makes the little pizza or whatever, it's like this older black dude. He was like, man, I'm so happy every time you come in here, man. It's like, you just look like you have a good time over there, eating your pizza, watching your phone. He was like, that's why we do it here at CC's. And I was like, man, I like that he just gave me that whole like little pitch, but also I'm glad that I inspired that pitch. And so that was another moment where I think like, oh, I got to be the thermostat instead of being the thermometer in the situation and going, oh, you got a flat tire, you missed this interview, everything just downhill from here, and only looking at all the things that I deemed as negative. It was like, no, like all that happened, but like also you still get to decide how you want to feel going forward. So if you want to feel better, do the things that you enjoy doing. Even when you don't feel like, oh, well, why am I doing it? Well, just because. If you enjoy doing it, do it just because. Yeah, so I've really been liking being a thermostat instead of the thermometer.
It's like, I feel like anything I say I feel like I'm just going to be hyping myself up. With this, but yeah, I feel like a lot of times, I feel like I'm a thermostat, and I feel like the good thing about that too is when I'm not being that and I'm not commanding the room or shining my light, people notice and can be like, okay, well, it's not Rodney today. Yeah, so, like basically just them noticing that and me being in that more often than not, and them noticing that is also a good way to remind me, like, okay, well, you're not standing in your power today, so cut your light back on. So yeah, like just having people around you that can give you that reminder, like, hey, this ain't you. Shine your light, is good too.
So what's some of the things like for you all that keeps you keep your light shining, that helps you keep your light shining?
Well, for me, Rod kind of just touched on a little bit. It's talking to people around me that kind of know me. I found that is, I'm not gonna lie, that has been the biggest blessing for me here as of lately. Like, I might be walking around, light might not be the brightest, and somebody will go, yeah, but like, you like that 4K TV, like you very bright, like, so go ahead and shine. Like those things like that. It's the people around me, one, and then two, I've started doing these little walking meditations. And so what I do in the little walking meditation is I really pay attention to all the things around me. So like it's one part of the walk where I actually start counting my steps, and so I count to 100, and then when I'm doing that, I'm able to really be super intentional about one, every step I take, and then also two, what I started to realizing now, man, I didn't even think about it, but now I've gotten so intentional that I even think about, I'm choosing to take this step in this direction. If I want to go turn left, I can turn left. If I want to turn right, I can turn right. And just embracing all the beauty around me and going, things ain't bad. So we ain't even got to feel like it. So I think that the walking and talking.
Okay.
I don't know if this on par with what you're asking, but like in my life, I'm kind of like, for a lot of my friends, I'm the person that everyone comes to talk with their stuff and all of that. So like a lot of times I hold my stuff. So like I hold stuff in because I'm like, they coming to me with their stuff. Like I won't be as transparent with what I have going on. And I was talking to a friend one time, and I was just like, I feel like, not saying in a bad way, but I feel like, all of y'all be dumping on me, and I just be holding my stuff in, and I was just telling her, I was like, I know that's not nothing, like, ain't like y'all like, oh, we ain't trying to hear what you saying, it's not like that, but I was like, I know it's not y'all, it's something with me. And I say all that to say, I just been wanting to be just more transparent about how I'm feeling, more so than always listening. And I can give anybody any kind of advice at all times, but sometimes I'm holding my stuff in, holding it longer than I need to, when I can really just say, yo, Steven, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I'm done with it. I didn't let it out. I'm good with it, and I'm moved on. But when I'm not saying nothing, I'm just holding it and carrying it, and so more transparent. And I've been saying this year when 2025 started, I think I told y'all that I just want to be more transparent about how I'm feeling all the time. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if that answered you, but more transparency.
Yeah, and I think for me, I just spend time in nature, spend time alone, just be in a loving space, just remembering to pour love on everything I see. I don't always remember to do that, but like just throughout my day, like admiring things that's in front of me to be admired. And so like just from that space of, I guess, being love and trying to reduce the amount of judgment, or at least, catch myself while I'm judging, and being able to say, like I'm always saying, yeah, such and such did whatever. I mean, it's okay that they did it, like that's fine. But I'm just commenting that it was done. And like even like when I say, a lot of times when I'm saying it's fine that they did it, that's me catching myself, like perhaps being in a place of judgment, like they shouldn't have did it. And so I'll be like, they did it, and it's okay, like there's nothing wrong under the universe. Yeah.
Okay.
And like a lot of times I hear people saying, and I was this person too, because I'm like very sensitive to energy. So if I walk into a room, I pretty much know what's going on. I already know. I know who mad, who sad, who depressed, who or whatever. And so a lot of times we get caught up into how other people are feeling, and then we'll end up feeling the way that they feel. And I think that's human nature, really. Like, you kind of, wherever the mood is, you guys are balance each other out. So if you could be high and somebody could be low, if y'all are together in the same room, they're gonna rise and you're gonna, And so, like, intentionally, I'm like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to make sure that I stay buoyant, and almost it's like I'm in the world but not of the world, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I know, I'm aware of what's going on, so to speak, but I don't participate in all of that, the other stuff, so that I can make sure that I'm good. And so when I'm good, if I walk into a room, then other people rise, right, and then they become good too.
I like that. Me, I'm more so like exercising, being in nature, and it's crazy. I like listening to people tell me, what's going on with them. And the reason being is because it's like they help me. They don't realize it though, because you guys know I don't really be telling nobody about business. Like, I'm a very, I like to keep things to myself, but they help me get into a space of being more vulnerable and allowing myself to share my story with others, and anything that I may be possibly going through. So it's almost like they're the yin to my yang. We're like you said, it's a good little balance, but that's what sort of keeps me in a space of like, okay, and sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's unconscious that I'm doing it, When I'm aware of it, it's like, okay, I see what's going on here, I know how I want to be, let me raise my my thermostat. But that's what makes me stay in the space of being up there pretty much.
And I love when we come here to record, because I feel like the energy, like all four of us collectively, it's like, to me, I just get to a space where like problems and like dissatisfied thought and all that, it just seems so tiny in here. But like, just like endless possibility, just like, it's like that. So I love y'all saying, the energy in the room and stuff. Like, when we come to do this, that's how I feel. Like, stuff that I don't want, or things I perceive as negative or whatever, they seem so tiny, like it don't matter. And so
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I want to just get that a little in. So y'all, another thing, I like this topic, because another thing I've started trying to find myself challenging myself to do is like, on the common casual conversations that I usually have, I try and even change the energy around that. So I'll be having something that we used to feel so objective. It's like, it's so like, all right, this is in green print. Like, all right, the final score of that game was this. And I look at it now and I go, yeah, but like, what if we didn't see it that way? Like, what if that's not really what happened in the game? Like, what if that shot wasn't really that shot and it was really like something super magical happening in the moment? So I find myself even trying to change the way that I see the things that are just very common. Like prime example, so I was having a conversation with LJ the other day, and I use him for so many examples. Poor LJ. But I was having a conversation with LJ the other day, and we was talking about something in the fashion world that he was doing, and I was like, yeah, man. He was like, yeah, because they just, it's just the way that it is, and they kind of just usually do that. And I was like, yeah, but like, what if they doing that because it leads to this, this, and this? And he was like, yeah, but like, no. And then I was like, well, I actually even scratched that. I was like, what if that's not even what's happening? I was like, what if you only seeing it this way, but really on the other side is all this other good stuff happening? And I was like, what if you just got to put yourself out there? He was like, yeah, like, I guess, like, if I didn't want to be in the back of the house, I wanted to be in the front of the house. And I was like, but you might have a lot of fun in the back of the house. So he went and did the fashion show, had a blast. He came back, won't stop talking about it now. Like, endless stories or whatever. And I just keep thinking, like, all right, I'm glad that we was able to have that conversation before he went in. Because as he was leaving out, it was like, oh, I'm tired. I've been doing all this stuff all this week for this show. It ain't really giving me that. It ain't really giving me this. But as he left out that last day, it was like, man, I'm excited I get to be a part of this. And I was excited for it. I was like, man, my brother really about to go out here and shut it down. So yeah, like, I think that even trying to adjust the energy on the common things that we see on a day-to-day is even helpful.
Sure, I even do that sometimes, and I feel like I wake up in the morning and be like, gotta go to work, gotta do the same old thing. I quickly be like, let's just shift this whole narrative right here. Today gonna be a good day. You have nothing to complain about. Everything is gonna be just fine. Like, don't even look at it like, you gotta go to work. And try to, shift my perspective on how I view things, and I do that daily. I do that daily.
I was just telling Terron earlier, like, just even when you might see, there's such and such going on tour, and
right.
They show, and then it's that initial excitement, like, I would love to do that, and then you might look at the ticket price, like, oh no, I ain't paying that for that. Like, just
right.
I be feeling like we like, although we just talking in that moment and just like whatever, but it still puts that lack in there. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to stop doing that. If I see something I want to do, then I want to do it. That's what it is. Like, it's not, that price is crazy for that though, because soon as I do that and put that thought, it's shut down. It's no possibility of me doing it. I'm thinking, I've never said, that costs too much, and end up doing it later. Like, I've never done that. So I want to stop that. I don't know how I got there, but yeah. Some of you said got me there, but yeah.
But it's funny that you said that. I used to be like that. When I tell you, I used to be like a tightwad when it came to money. Like, I used to think, like, man, that costs.
When you change, yes.
I'm about to say.
No, I say I got better. I've gotten way better. Way better. If I see something that I want, I'd be like, I'm gonna sit on it for a while. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sit on it for a while, but I'm gonna get it though. But it made me think, like, okay, it's nothing that I lack, and I came from lack, so I'm not trying to keep on manifesting lacking to my life. So I know if I don't want that, then I got to shift my perspective. Like, hey, you can do it. You want to go on the trip? Go on the trip. Let's go get you back. So. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Just speaking on a trip too, it's just like, just plan the trip though.
I like that.
Like, because a lot of times before you even get to planning the trip, you already like, oh, this gonna cost that gonna cost that.
Just for now.
No, I never planned nothing. That date that I was looking at, all this gone. You know, and so yeah, just plan the trip. That's what I'm. That's what I'm on now too.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Cause it was I talked myself out of quite a few trips here recently for no reason. I go, like I want to go to this place, and I go look at it, and I go, yeah, but no, I don't really need to do that right now. Like I could do this and I could do that instead. And then I start finding like other like little substitutes, and it's like the substitute could be fine, but that main course is still that main course. It's like you still want that steak, so go get that steak. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all for joining me in this conversation and helping me turn my thermostat up again. Because I like being able to control all the things around me and know that, again, also acknowledging that I am in control of all the things around me and I don't have to let them control me. I don't have to let my environment dictate how I feel. I get to dictate my environment based on how I feel.
Hey.
So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you guys. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon. Until then, this is Arvat.
And it's Steven.
Terron.
Rodney.
Bye, y'all.